Hi, Dave Jones here again. We're looking at a song called Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day. It's from I think it's from the Nimrod album. Nice little acoustic strum-along song. 4 chords in it: G, C add 9, go into that in a minute, D and E minor. You could use C as well if you wanted to instead of the C add 9. But I'll just show you this little trick if you're playing in the key of G. There's a couple of ways of playing a G chord. Well, there's lots of ways of playing a G chord, but if you're a relative novice, there's 2 main ways that you learn to play a G chord. Finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, 3-finger G with your 3rd finger on the high E string at the 3rd fret. Another way of playing a G chord is fingers 1 and 2, where they normally go for the normal G chord, but instead of having your finger on the high E string there, the 3rd finger, you move it up onto the B string at the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, sorry, B string 3rd fret, and you put your little finger onto the high E string where your other finger was. So you've got 2 strings held down there with fingers 3 and 4. You've got the B string and the high E string at the 3rd fret. It's called a 4-finger G. Personally, I like the sound of it better, but it really doesn't matter. Both Gs are Gs, so that's absolutely fine. There's lots of different ways of playing chords, and we'll get into that later on. The reason for playing G with 4 fingers, apart from the fact that I like the sound better, but that's a personal thing, is you can play an interesting chord called C add 9 by moving just 2 fingers. You move fingers 1 and 2, which are on the A and E strings, down a string each. And it gives you a C chord with an added note. It's an added 9th, it's a D note, but we won't go into that yet. But it makes the change, for those of you who are struggling, from G to C, which is quite a complicated change when you first start playing. It makes the change an awful lot easier. So G, C add 9, and then what's really handy then is when you go to the D chord, finger 3 is already in the right place. So it makes it an easier change. G, C add 9, D, finger 3, not moving at all. And there is an E minor chord in this sequence as well, and if you wanted to, it wouldn't make the slightest bit of difference. It's a tiny bit of difference to the sound, but it wouldn't affect the vocal line if you were singing over the top. You can leave that finger on for the E minor chord as well. You'll get a chord called an E minor 7. But if you're new to chord change, if you're not, don't worry about it. But if you're new to chord changing, leave that 3rd finger on for the whole song. It will help the chord changing. So you just play E minor, regular E minor, but with the 3rd finger on that D string, give you a chord called E minor 7. It will sound absolutely fine in this key. So G, C add 9, D, and if you want to, it's up to you. E minor with that finger on, or E minor 7 rather with that finger on, or E minor with that finger off. Again, if you want to print the PDF off of the site, feel free. It doesn't cost anything. Well, only you're printing it, I suppose. But we've got 2 sections in this song. We've got an intro and basically a verse, and then it goes back into the intro again. Down, down, up, down, strumming pattern would fit fine. Down, down, up, down. So what I do is I take you through the intro. Again, as I said before, it's got the repeat signs in it. If you don't understand that, you might want to look on how to read chord charts, which is up on the website. But basically, the double line with the double dot means you repeat that sequence. So the intro is repeated. So down, down, up, down. I play the intro, count you in, and don't forget I'm playing G like this, so I can play C add 9. If you don't like it, you could play G and C instead. It really won't make any difference, but we're going to use C add 9 for this particular video. So here we go with the intro. 2, 3, 4, G, C add 9, D, G, C add 9, D, and that's your intro. And then they come in with the vocal line there, and we've got the same sequence repeated at the beginning of the verse. Then we've got another sequence: E minor, D, C add 9, G, repeated, and then a little play out: E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D. But if you've got the PDF, you'll follow it. So I'll count you in. I'll play it exactly as it's written on the PDF with the repeats. So here we go with the verse section. 2, 3, 4, G, C add 9, D, G for 2 bars, C add 9, D, E minor, D, C add 9, G, E minor, D, C add 9, G, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D. And then you go back into your intro. So, great little song. If you go for the G, C add 9 rather than G, C, like I say, either will fit, but It might just make it easier, and use the E minor 7, it might make it easier if you're a relative beginner to change between the chords. Having that one finger stay where it is all the time keeps your other fingers closer to the fingerboard, as discussed in some of the other videos that are up on the site. So good luck with that. See you again.